Okay, we're live. We are live and on air. All right, everybody. So welcome to our first collaboration. I am Review the Earth, and I am here today with Mad Dodge Productions. So go ahead and say hello.
Hey, I am the Mad Libertarian, and this is the first time in about a month I've been back on air. I haven't made a video in a while, lost my internet, but I am glad to be here. What would you like to talk about, sir?
Well, this is our first test, so we're basically doing some mic checks. I think we've got all the bugs worked out on it. What were we talking about earlier? We were going to talk about Syria, Trump, these things.
Yeah.
Let's start out by giving a little bit of background, because we've talked a little bit now. We just met each other somewhere along the way on Twitter, and I was doing a video maybe, and you hit me up and we're like, hey, we should collaborate. So we've been talking for a couple of weeks on trying to get that worked out, and we finally doing it. So we're both rookies. This is both our first time ever going live on Hangouts with a collaboration effort. So I voted for Trump. Here's our starting point. So I'm a libertarian minded person that voted for Trump, and so tell us a little bit about your libertarian background. Maybe we'll go start there.
Yeah, well, I started out listening to Ron Paul. That's what got me into it. And I really didn't feel like Trump was very libertarian at all. His demeanor, first off, is very militaristic, which is anti-libertarian.
Correct.
That goes against the non-aggression principle. And from that point, the lesser of three evils was Gary Johnson. I mean, I would like them to know a little bit, like, do you think it's okay for Trump to just bomb a sovereign country?
No.
I mean, okay, good answer.
No, I don't. But after hardcore researching, I think I know why he may have done it. I don't agree with it particularly, but I might understand. I might understand why he did it. And there's people who believe, okay, this is basically what it comes down to, because I was one of the first people before it was really kind of coming out, when I was really thinking about it in my head, because of my libertarian principles. I said, why would he do this? It's against everything he said. So I had to like dig deep and think about it for like a day and a half. And then I made a video explaining it. It was about 30 minutes long. But basically, in a nutshell, I was kind of saying 3D chess right before everybody started saying that. It was kind of organically becoming a theme. So there's people that believe that what he did could be 3D, 4D, 10D chess or whatever. And there's people who say it's, absolutely unacceptable. And I think I'm probably somewhere in between, where don't think it was the right thing to do as far as the non-aggression principle, but it might be for another phantom reason that we don't know. As somebody who voted for Trump, I do trust in his judgment. He ran on things in which I didn't necessarily agree.
Sorry about the baby in the background, by the way. Not to interrupt you.
No problem. Hang on for a second. Oh, now I can't hear you at all. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. How about this? No? Okay. Anyways, so going back to the Trump thing. As somebody who voted for Trump, I believe in Trump, okay? And I believe that he's got our best interests at heart, and I trust the president. There's a little bit. It doesn't mean I can't be. It doesn't mean I can't be critical of him, because I don't exactly agree with that. Why do I trust the president?
Yeah. What? Just for a second. I'm not trying to take over the conversation.
No, you're fine. No, this is going really good.
What would give you the reason to believe in him? 9 years ago, he was hanging out with the Clintons.
Correct.
Card-carrying Democrat. So what gives you the idea that anything he says is honest?
Well, speaking to the point of 9 years ago, he was a card-carrying Democrat. I'll say this, that people change, ideas change, reality is malleable. meaning that new information can be learned. People can absorb things and have a better understanding. He might have been hobnobbing with them to get what he wanted. He might have been playing them, essentially.
Which is,
I can't speak for him. I can't speak for him, and I can't answer for him.
He can
but
speak
that's
for himself,
kind of
and he
take.
pretty much said that. He said that he played both sides of the quarter. But
Right.
does that make him a trustworthy individual? I would argue it doesn't.
I would tend to agree with that. But at the same time, there's games on all sides, right? And I believe that our president is a winner. And I believe that whatever he was doing in the spirit of winning for himself. And I don't know if that's a good answer, but I just believe that he's a winner.
I mean, winning is good. Ask Charlie Sheen.
Ask who?
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. Hashtag winning. Tiger blood.
He got that tiger blood, all right.
Yeah. So I have a certain degree of faith in him. I've watched enough of his video. I've watched not his videos. I've been to the rally. I've seen all the rallies. I watched them all playing out because as I was ditching, Johnson, Johnson was falling apart. Trump was rising for me. I never took Trump seriously at all. Rand Paul was completely my guy. I was going to vote for Gary Johnson. Bill Weld because I dumped him before the Aleppo comment, but it was only like 2 weeks before because I got sick. What happened with that was Hillary. Aleppo? Yeah, Hillary's comment or the Bill Weld's comment about Hillary saying that she's not really anything wrong with what she's doing. That really turned me off. I mean, I should say that disgusted me actually. The fact that he said, I've known her and this and that, and she's not that bad. I mean, when you have that versus Trump is going out and saying crooked Hillary, and you go to the rallies and there's 10,000 people screaming lock her up and stuff, I definitely related to that more, I guess.
But where's the crooked Hillary now? He let her off the hook.
Well,
and now he's going after people like Snowden.
Correct.
And as a libertarian, I will defend Snowden.
Absolutely. I will too.
I'm sorry.
I will absolutely defend Snowden too. So hang on. There's 2 points. Okay, let's take that into two sections. What is Hillary? Where is she at? She's not in jail, right?
Right, yeah.
Because
basically, I mean, he's the president. He can arrest her if he wants, right? I mean,
no,
hell, under the 9/11 acts, they could just arrest anybody. It's like black bagging out there, man.
Correct. The reason is, in my opinion, Bill walks among the free is because we have a serious CIA deep state issue. And he can't just go around locking all these people up. As much as he may want to, he is thinking out and playing chess. That's the only option he has. He can't just go for him full bore because the people will not tolerate it. If he went after Obama full blast by himself, it'd be over. The country would be it would not go good. Would you agree with that, I guess?
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. How do you feel about Obama not even leaving Washington D.C.? He just moved like 3 blocks away.
I don't like it. But let me field the Snowden thing. I want to go back to the Snowden thing for a second. So Hillary, absolutely. I think that Hillary is walking around free right now because she's on borrowed time. And it's not going to come from him to do it the way that he sees the people accepting it. And they will not accept it right now. If he went after Hillary, the people that hate him and this Antifa crap that's going on, it would just be ramped up to no end, I feel. And so he politically, while he might have the power to do it, he's actually restraining himself in that. So then I'm going to transition into the Snowden thing. Now, Snowden thing, I have a theory, okay? You cannot, as a president, pardon somebody unless they've been tried and convicted. The only way is Trump may have a 4D chess move here where he gets him to cooperate on an arrest. They take him in. They try to prosecute him. Let the court handle it in whatever way that happens. The court may just let him off. The court may let him go free. I mean, we don't, just because Trump is saying that well, okay, well, if it's doubtful, maybe Trump's like, okay, cooperate with us, and I swear I'll let you go. But I will say this: I did go watch the Snowden movie with the director that made that. Guy that made
Oliver
JFK.
Stone.
Oliver Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not a huge Oliver Stone fan. It's great. Absolutely great. I went to the theater. I was so pumped about it because I'm into all that stuff, you know. And in the movie, they have a quote from Donald Trump basically saying, you know, he should be, you know, taken out or whatever. So he has it. This was, you know, before the election, Snowden came out. So, you know, and this is right. It seemed like I was just turning to the Trump side, and I totally disagree with the comment. It is a real comment, but he's also could be playing the right, because there's a lot of people on the right, the non-libertarian right, the Warhawk right, the John McCain right, the Lindsey Graham right, the Paul Ryan right.
Lindsey Graham.
They all want to see him done in. Hillary wants to see him done in, right? Everybody does. So there is a contingent of people that want to see him basically strung up, but that's turning. I think public opinion has completely changed. Everybody who kind of voted for Trump voted for him, you know, not just because of WikiLeaks, of course, but that definitely helped the case, right? And Trump even said it himself. So I have this theory that, and we don't know because nothing's happened yet, right? Snowden is, or not Snowden. Sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm talking about Assange. We were two separate things. What I meant to talk about was Assange, not Snowden. I did see the Snowden movie, and he commented on Snowden. But what I'm talking about, what we were talking about earlier, I think you meant to say, you know, what do you think about him trying to go after Assange right now? Because that's kind of the talking point, right? Was that what you were talking about?
Well, no, I meant Snowden because he literally is talking about him being a Russian spy, kinda. I mean, I don't
know if I heard that quote, but he definitely said he wanted to do him in. I think he said some pretty extreme thing about getting, you know, doing him in or something. I can't remember.
But if you want to go on to Assange, I'm okay with that. I'm not.
That's what I was actually talking about.
I'm more a support. Not Snowden, not Assange, because I'm not sure about the whole child molester thing. That's a little weird, right? With Julian.
I never heard that child molester thing.
Or rapist.
The rapist thing. Yeah.
Rapist, yeah.
But that's...
Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, you're good. I've looked into that a little bit, and from my angle, I think it's bogus. I don't know that it's bogus, but the allegations seem flimsy, and, you know, I'm no lawyer or anything, but I think it's just some kind of charge they're trying to get stuck to him so they can do something with him. But what I was talking about was recently, so I got confused. When you said Snowden, I kind of heard Assange, but then I started mixing it in with what I was talking about, the Snowden movie. So my point, overarching point, was that in the Snowden movie, he talks ill will about, you know, leakers, whistleblowers. It's a very strong quote in the movie. He says something like, and I don't want to misquote him, but it's something like, you know, these people need to be done in or something like that. And so that is and that's while he was running, in preparation of running, his public comments he made. So it was
that makes him a populist, not a libertarian. That's
correct.
My argument is he is not a libertarian. And
oh no, I don't. Trump is not a libertarian. That is an absolute fact.
I don't even think he really considers Keynesian or the economics like a libertarian. And
I got a good point for that one. Have you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki before?
I believe so, yes.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is a book that came out in the 90s. That was a book about real estate, trying to capitalize on the real estate. Anyways, he's a big proponent of hard money. He understands the Federal Reserve in and out. He's a libertarian slash capitalist, if you will, and he served as a Marine in Vietnam and things like that. He's an Asian American. He was from Hawaii, but he made a ton of money, okay, flipping houses. He became very, very wealthy and wrote books and produced like board games and things, and wrote a book with Donald Trump called The Midas Touch. I've not read it, but I know it exists. And I was more into Kiyosaki before Trump. I'd always thought Trump was just kind of a joker and a boombastic personality. Never watched his shows, I never cared about him at all, basically. And
yeah,
I literally started coming around in about February or something like that. That was when I was like, yeah, you know what? Trump's not too bad. I kind of like some of the stuff he's saying. You know, it's kind of a trickling effect, I guess. But
I have a question. Why?
Well, let me finish this real quick.
Why not Ted Cruz?
What's that?
Why not Ted Cruz? Why Trump?
Oh, because now Ted Cruz, Ted Cruz, I think is a complete snake in the grass. I like him, and I think he is
more like a weasel, but
and he eats his boogers and stuff too, right? But Ted Cruz has a really good voting record. Ted Cruz has stood up for things that really matter, in my opinion. But his campaign was terrible. I could not take it seriously. I couldn't get on board with Ted Cruz. I think he really showed his true colors in the campaign. His anti-Trump stuff, his thing at the RNC, all that. I just think he kind of went off course. It seems like he's kind of getting back on course. So, I'm for a good voting record. So, more power to Ted Cruz. I hope he stays in the Senate. We don't want to lose him. I'll say that. But not exactly my cup of tea. Rand is my cup of tea. Rand is who I wish was running the country. But actually, I'm actually more happy that Trump won in the end. But I think that Rand should be the next president. I really, really, really want Rand to be the next president because Trump is going to go through there and smash the place up, in my opinion, for hopefully benevolent means. Hopefully he does good things. He's a power abuser. I think
still a dictator.
But I don't feel like he is a dictator. I don't know how he's a dictator right now.
Oh, he's not. We're in America. I mean, but
right.
Still, a benevolent dictator either way is still a dictator. Like
authoritarianism is still authoritarianism.
Yeah. The lesser of two evils is still evil.
Yeah, but I don't see him as evil either.
Authoritarian, that would be.
Yeah, I can say he's an authoritarian, but I don't necessarily know it's evil, though. I mean, does being authoritarian make you evil? I guess would be a question I would have.
Does it violate the NAP?
Let's say he uses all of his powers for good, and he violates the NAP here. I mean, because when he violated the NAP, what did he do? He killed 6 Syrian military men,
and wasted how much money? Oh my God! You know how much these freaking Tomahawk missiles cost? I'm more mad about that.
Everybody freaked out about the Moab, right? But the Moab, it turns out, like they were saying, it cost $36 million and all this stuff. I was like, no way. I looked at the pictures. Like, I fabricate steel. Like, I'm not a fabricator, but I work in that business. I'm an inspector. And I can look at the Moab, and I'm like, there is no way that costs 30 whatever million. Like Jill Stein, okay, she even put out a tweet like, you could have fixed the whole city of Flint and all that, going on and on and on about it, about how much the money was. But it turns out that it was like $200,000 or something. And we had to have a stack of them laying around that were built in 2000 just sitting around. So it's not even like we, I don't know. The Moab was better than the Syrian strike, and those are two different things, and they should not be looked at the same. But back to the Syrian strike, yeah, it took a lot, but
for what good either? Like, what really happened? I mean, nothing really happened.
And I think there's a heavy possibility that it was a false flag. I'm not even convinced that Assad did it, by the way.
I don't think he did.
Which puts me in an even weirder position because people were like, okay, so you think it was a false flag, but you still agree with it anyways? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. That's a good question, Dad. What the
fuck? My answer would be yes. I think that there's a high probability that it was a false flag attack. And I also think that he knew or could have known. He either knew or he got tricked, okay? He either knew it was a false flag and he did it for reasons, we'll say, or he could have gotten tricked and got lucky that he only killed 6 people. And we don't know. That's the thing. We do not know. So
by what he said himself, he notified Russia and Syria. So I'm pretty sure he knew.
Yes. That it was a false flag? Or
why would he warn them? Well, I mean, if he thinks they did it, wouldn't he want to cause as much damage?
Correct. No, I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. Exactly. So again, is it just a show? Is he just putting on a show here? Because do you know what he did the second that he was doing that? You know what Trump was actually doing when
sending a fleet to North Korea?
No, it was before that.
Oh, all right, my bad.
No, what he was doing was he literally was walking into the room, sat down with the president of China, and we bombed him then.
Yeah. And now, I mean, switching over to North Korea, we have 3 different militaries all along that border. So you have the United States along the North and South Korean border. We've been there. We've been at war. Literally, it's armistice. We're at war.
Yep.
And we have been for like, what, 40 years?
Technically, it's not even war because we never declared war.
Oh, we don't do that anymore.
And that's another problem I got. See, I'm in this weird territory where I broke my own rules in a sense because I believed that it was the right thing to do for this chance because it was Hillary or Trump, and Hillary would have been. I feel like literally Hillary could have been the end of the country as we know it. I don't know if we could have recovered from that. So the lesser of two evils was actually pretty. I mean, like I did not vote for Mitt Romney. We were kind of fielding this earlier, right? I didn't vote for Mitt Romney in 2012. I voted, I hardcore went and pushed Ron Paul. I became a delegate. I got elected and all that stuff. I went to the state convention, went to the county convention. I pushed for Ron Paul hardcore. And when I saw that they pimped him in the RNC, they wouldn't even let him speak. Not only did they, they didn't screw him on the nomination.
They screwed him. Come on.
I mean, the establishment screwed him. It wasn't like Bernie Sanders, though. I mean, Bernie Sanders was straight up screwed, ripped off out of his nomination, in my opinion. I think
which is horrible, but still, fuck Bernie.
I'm not a fan of Bernie, but nobody deserves that. You know what I mean? Unless he was
told he was being screwed. I mean, there's emails released. He fucking knew it.
Yeah, he's fine. I'll say that. Because he should have never, because I was like, okay, because Ron Paul never endorsed Mitt Romney. And what did Bernie do? Bernie went and kissed the ring. BS. So yeah, he's spineless, I'll say that. But he either was part of that whole rig, third house on the socialist house on Lake Champlain or whatever.
Who was the third guy? Like, something. It was some Irish guy, right?
What's that?
The Democrat race.
I don't even know. All I knew was I didn't even pay attention. I wouldn't even watch the debates. I literally have a hard time watching that side. I try, like I watched enough to know I didn't need to watch it. Let's put it that way. I watched the DNC just to make political commentary on my website and stuff, or try to give them a chance, but it was just awful. The Democrats are horrible. Now there's a lot of good
O'Malley. I think, sorry to interrupt. I think his name was O'Malley. I think the third guy.
O'Malley?
Yeah. He said all lives matter, and they freaked the fuck out on him. Like, how do you freak out on somebody like all lives matter is not saying that black lives don't matter. It's saying everybody's life matters. Because and as a pro-life libertarian, which I am,
me too.
All life matters.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I totally agree with that. And it's it's purely race politics. That's all it is. They're selling race politics. That's all it is, man. And because they can't form a winning ideology, they have to default to, to stuff that they can box you in and pin you in. And if you don't believe in this, then you are this. And that's how they work, man. That's just part of the course.
And it's really weird too. The party that started the KKK is now suddenly the non-racist.
Yeah.
And I'm a Southerner. I have family that fought for the South. I'm going to join the Sons of Confederate Veterans. But I'm not a fucking racist.
Right.
So the party that created the KKK now calls me as a white libertarian a racist.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm white.
Yeah, more white, more racism. I love that. That's the best thing that's ever happened out of Bernie was the mo. Just, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. The socialism and racism. And, they just, everything is blah, blah, blah. I love that. I put that all the time, every chance I get. Like the Bill Nye thing is like, hashtag sex junk, everything is just everything is identity politics, race politics, anything they got. That's the only thing that the Democratic Party as a whole kind of has, but there are very good liberals out there. There's very good liberals and progressives that I don't necessarily agree with, on every issue, but I can agree with them on most because they actually care about the Constitution. They want some more social programs. They're just left of that. But these
actually I would like to throw a name out there. Ron Wyden.
Say that again.
A senator from Oregon. Ron Wyden.
Okay, I'll definitely check him out.
He's a senator from Oregon, and he's worked with Rand Paul in some of those filibusters about the NRA and stuff. And he's a hardcore Democrat, but I might be persuaded to vote for him because of his views on it, NSA and shit,
Yeah, there was a Democrat I almost voted for, and at the last second I didn't because I don't know if you ever heard of Kurt Haskell. He was during the underwear bomber. The underwear bomber?
Yeah, I heard of that
deal. Anyways, Kurt Haskell, he sounded like a decent Democrat, and I was on the verge of voting for him, but then he came out as like super pro-choice, and I was like, I can't do it.
And there's
and not just like a little pro-choice, but like full force pro-choice. I'm like, I can't do that. He said something that turned me off about him. So I'm always looking for the best candidate. If I, and I always vote Libertarian. Like if I don't know who the party is, if I don't know, like if it's a local thing and I see a Libertarian for something for Michigan, I always vote Libertarian. Because they're probably not going to win, A, and they need support, B, and we need to get more third-party support. And
how is the Libertarian Party doing over there? Is it strong or weak?
When I went to the Trump rally, there was about 20 of them that showed up with a hay wagon with the Statue of like a float like Statue of Liberty there that were awesome and very cool and very pleasant. I went and hung out with them. I said, hey, I'm voting for Trump, but I really respect the Libertarian Party, and I'm mostly with you guys. I'm just not on the Johnson train. And they were all cool. You know what I mean? Just normal guys. So there's a little bit, like there's growing support. There's more now than there was in 2008 and 2012 when I started getting into it. That's for sure.
That's good. Yeah, like the Libertarian Party here in Oregon is kind of split. I guess the original party had its own structure and everything, and then somebody else came in and tried to say they were the Libertarian Party of Oregon, and there's like infighting going on. So it's really hard for us to catch any traction here in Oregon.
That tends to be the MO of the Libertarian Party because from my vantage point, because it's like things like abortion, right? There's like half of libertarians believe in pro-choice, and half of them kind of believe in pro-life. The non-aggression principle, pro-life side, or the government can't tell me what to do with my body, pro-choice side. It's an issue that we just can't seem to figure out, and that is just one. That's just, I guess,
one of many.
Yeah, there's another. What was I thinking? I was even thinking of this. There's another one, an issue that's very similar that, is split the Libertarian Party, but that doesn't.
The Civil Rights Act.
Yeah, the civil right, like what Rand Paul said before. He got in trouble for, they called him a racist because he said
but he was right.
Yeah.
I mean, the Civil Rights Acts are bullshit. We should all be equal under the law, not because of you're black or white or yellow or pink. I don't care.
Paul said it was perfectly acceptable, and they tried to burn him on the news about it and tried to play the racism card, and how can you possibly say that this, And he's like, well, I think the free market will handle it. If you had a black customer and you turned them away, all he has to do is go tell everybody else in town that you're a racist, and nobody will be going to your place. You know what I mean? So it's the free market and common sense kind of handles that stuff, I think. But yeah, there's issues that the Libertarian Party definitely gets divided on. So, I mean, I basically come to find myself as an independent. I think that's the best, for lack of a better term. I'm very hardcore rooted in libertarianism, with strong veins of conservatism, like Ron Paul style conservatism running through me. I'm basically like Ron Paul. Ron Paul would be the dream candidate, but I'll tell you what Ron Paul wouldn't do. The holy bejesus side of political correctness. I was thinking about it. I was watching a video where people were saying, what do you think is the main thing that Trump did that is the most popular thing? And I think it is destroying political correctness. I think that is the most important thing. You can look at videos from George Carlin talking about political correctness.
One of my heroes.
It's basically one of my heroes, absolutely. Talking about how and it's mostly the liberals, but not exclusively the liberals. He was a liberal. His daughter's a liberal right now, talking about a lot of liberal politics. But he was saying the one thing, that he can't agree with is political correctness, because it's destroying the language. And who is to say that this is right or that's wrong? You know what I mean? We have free speech for a reason. But
words have meaning. You can't change the meaning of a word. And that's what they're trying to do half the time, especially the social justice warriors. It's getting ridiculous.
It's insane. And I got a perfect comment. I wish I could get my screen share. Actually, I'll do it on my phone. I got this thing, dude. This blew my mind today. Do you know who Bill Still is?
Bill Still. Not off the top of my head.
Bill Still. He's a libertarian. He did a lot of money on, or a lot of videos on money and creation of money, banking, Federal Reserve videos. This dude he's a rock star of this. Okay, Google his video today. Google, is that backwards to you? Can you see that? Can you read that, or is that backwards?
I can see it. It looks normal, yeah.
Okay.
Still report.
16,
13, the 8th, yeah.
So it says Google redefines fascism. So this is my thing today. I was going to make a video about this today, but I didn't end up doing that. So I'm just going to riff on this for a minute, if you can hang here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Google redefines fascism. If you've typed in some words recently to Google, you may have noticed that if you're looking for the definition of a word, used to be like, Merriam-Webster's, you get a few entries, right? Well, now Google is streamlining that into their own little box. That
Don't tell me there's a dictionary. No.
Yeah. So like when you type it into, like you should do this right now while you're on your computer that you can't see. If you got a window open or something, just go onto Google and type in fascism. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Fascism. Google. And what he does in that video, that still report video, is fascism. What he does is shows the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of it, and then he shows Google's definition of it, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I could not believe this. It disgusted me to the point where I have to completely get off of all these Android platforms. I don't want anything to do with Google anymore. Look at this Daily Caller. It's like now it's trending. It's like there's a bunch of stories on it. No, this is on February 4th. So this is, Google redefines word fascism to smear conservatives. So let me just type in fascism definition, or fascism, see what it comes. Yeah. So here it says, this is the definition according to Google. I wish I could show you. I could show you on my phone. Just go type it in, I guess, guys. So it says an authoritarian and nationalistic right-wing system of government and social organization. That's all it says.
What?
I'm not even joking, dude.
Wow.
And here's the definition by Merriam-Webster is political philosophy, movement, or regime, such as that of the fascist, that exalts nation and often race above the individual, that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social and forcible suspension of opposition. Definition 2, a tendency toward or actual exercise of strong autocratic or dictatorial control. And again, I'm going to read Google's just so you can wrap your head around this, okay? Google's definition is an authoritarian and nationalistic right-wing system of government and social organization. So, boom, Google. I got to get off all your stuff now. I have my domain of my website is through Google. My website is built on Google Sites. I have an Android phone. I'm disgusted. I can't abide. The dude can't abide, man. I got to get out. I got to figure out, and I'm not going to Apple.
Yeah, they're just
today
bad.
Today I have made the conscious choice how to do Linux. This is a long overdue thing. I've been talking about it for years. Just kind of gone along with it, but there's a way to hack an Android phone and put Linux on it, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to. I have an alternate phone. I'm going to try to transition as much off of Google as possible. Talking about the redefinition of words, how can it get any worse than that? I mean, it can't. And they're like the biggest company in the world in control of everybody's information. My emails, Gmail. I run on a YouTube website. Like, they're out of control. That is out of control, and I won't stand for it. And,
and this whole left-right paradigm is completely false. The way they label it. Yeah, it's the libertarians and anarchists are the far left. We are. The far right is the National Socialists and the fascists, who are. Fascism was Mussolini.
For a second,
the corporations.
You're busting up on me here. Hang on, I haven't heard that yet. Just restate what you were saying. Skype was breaking up.
All right. So it's a false dichotomy. I mean, on the far left, I would put the anarchists, the anarcho-capitalists, and the libertarians almost to the far left. And the far right would be the authoritarians, the dictators, and the fascists, the corporations that link with the government and try and control everything. That's a fascist. That was Mussolini's Italy.
Yeah.
And then the socialists were the Nazis. How did that become far right?
It's a head game. You know, it's just like this. Why do we think of Hitler and the Nazis were obviously horrible, one of the worst things that's ever happened, right? But communism killed the unknown 10 times more people, 12 times more people. Why is it that they did? Okay, there was Nuremberg trials in Germany, but there's no Nuremberg trials when the Berlin Wall fell and when, eventually the Soviet Union fell. What happened to those people? Why no Nuremberg trials? They killed untold numbers of people.
I could tell you why, because Patton didn't have his way. He wanted to keep going. He wanted to take out Russia.
Yeah, I know.
They were about the same. The socialists and the communists are on the same fucking scale.
So here's the scale to use. It is, in my opinion, I read this in a book called None Dare Call It Conspiracy, which is one of my favorite books I've ever read. And this guy, he does a speech. He does like a he makes this speech somewhere because his book was selling, and he went and spoke, and it was really good. And he says, why is it that we think of left and right, and then he says we often think of communism and Stalin as left, and we also think of Hitler, far left, and then Hitler is far right. But he's like, why? Because you still totalitarianism. He says, why isn't it looked at as a scale of 0 anarchy, 0 government,
for freedom,
0 government, anarchy, total anarchy, and 100% total authoritarianism? Engage it
that would be how I would label it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. The left-right is a fake paradigm. There's nothing but infighting that comes from it, it seems to be. It's Coke or Pepsi, and that's it, you know?
Yeah, and all we really want is whiskey.
Yeah. I could go for a little shoot of whiskey.
But I mean, yeah, it's just insane to me how they labeled this. How were the Nazis and the communists complete opposites? They weren't. Even Hitler knew that they fucking weren't. Like, he saw the communists as his direct threat because he wanted to take over fucking Europe and Asia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were his direct threat.
They absolutely were, and he turned on them, obviously, and yeah, so that whole mess. But what got us down that road? What were we thinking of that led us down the road of the scale of left, right, the false dichotomy there? We were overarching.
I'm not sure, but to continue on, have you ever taken that internet test that said where you were on the scale?
Yeah, I can't remember
where
it was.
Did you fall, if I might ask?
I don't remember. I did do it before. I used to have the little Libertarian card, you know, the little, like a paper card that asked you. Is that one you're talking about, or are you talking about one of those more detailed computer graphy ones? I've done both of them.
Yeah, the computer graphy ones is what I'm talking about. I was more on the right side because I'm pro-life, but I was all the way towards the freedom side of the scale.
I was probably in the same spot.
So down and right.
Mm-hmm. I was probably in the same general zone. You know, I reached across the aisle when I voted for Trump, I guess you could say, because, you know, I pretty much vote for strictly libertarians when it comes down to it. I will vote for, like, I didn't vote for my congressman who is a Republican. I didn't vote for him. So
what about people like Richard Spencer? They voted for Trump. Do you feel like they're in the same group as you, or
I guess I don't know.
Kind of an outsider, and
Richard Spencer Spencer, but I have not seen his views. Don't know what it is. Isn't he the guy that got punched by Antifa, and they're like, that was the first punch of Nazi or something? They're like, he's a Nazi, so you can punch him. It's fine.
Roman Millennial did an interview with him that I think is really good. That if there is anybody, because I can't see the chat, there is anybody watching, check out that Roman Millennial interview.
Yeah, I should have brought up the damn chat window. I'm surprised there's no chat window. Oh, maybe there is. It does say chat here. There's no one in here. I know that says 0 viewers, but there is a chat. There is a group chat thing on the side. Okay, cool. No one said a damn thing on it, but it's there. We can, you know.
No, it's good, and maybe somebody will check this out later, and next time we do a live stream, we'll have some people. So. Well,
I definitely think we have some chemistry, and we have a lot of common ground, as well as some interesting differences that we can hash out and talk to in a very communicating way, because that is really at the heart of this. The heart of the struggle is the First Amendment is under direct assault. I mean, that's why I changed my avatar to the #1A, because this is some crazy times, man. YouTube, speaking of this is the other thing that happened with Google. That's what got us down the road. Google fascism definition.
Oh, yeah.
Caveat to that, the other sidecar point would be that the hard bastard. Okay, so you know who the Young Turks are, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The young turds. Do you know who H.A. Goodman?
Right.
Yeah. H.A. Goodman. Do you know him? You ever heard of him before?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's he's a liberal progressive, right? He's one of the good liberal progressives, in my opinion. I don't exactly agree with him on everything, but I think he's a real good guy. Seems to be a real good journalist, commentator, and such. I watch his channel, and I like his channel. But he was attacked by the Jordan guy on the Young Turks, Jordan C. I don't know them, because I just never watch the Young Turks. They have nothing of value there for me at all.
They used to be good like 5 years ago. Now they're garbage.
I mean, I saw them like 8 years ago or even longer. I remember seeing them then and thinking they were semi-okay, but yeah, I don't know how long ago it was when I really figured out that they just weren't anything I was looking for, you know. But anyways, the Young Turks, Jordan C., I can't remember how to pronounce his name. He attacked H.A. Goodman, you know, not physically attacked, but came after him and like slandered him. I'm not sure. I didn't get the full story on that, but basically what happened was, okay, and that's infighting in the liberal left kind of crowd, because H.A. Goodman's like, you know, I used to really respect you guys, but you guys are garbage now and stuff. So he's fighting back, and his audience is tiny, like tiny. It's not tiny. He's got a good audience. He's got like 80,000 subscribers. But in comparison to TYT, they straight up punched right down on him. And for no reason, like the dude's doing great work. So they're just jealous.
I would say tiny is my channel. I'm at 59 subs, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't mean it like that, but I'm saying like they punch down hard, you know, because here's a guy who's actually gaining grassroots attention, gaining grassroots traction. He's collabing with people.
And they just try to curb stomp him.
They curb stomped him. And then, okay, the hard bastard, who is also a liberal, classic liberal. I don't know if he's a progressive. He definitely calls himself a classic liberal. And he is left-leaning. And I love the hard bastard, too. And so the hard bastard made a video. And I don't remember how. It didn't seem like it was that hardcore because I watched it, right? But he made a video about it and then got a bullying strike from YouTube. No kidding.
Oh, shit.
He got a bullying strike from YouTube. Like, he made a video saying, you know, I support H.A. Goodman, and what the Young Turks did was bad. And basically, you know, he might have used some colorful language because he's, you know, he'll drop F-bombs and stuff like that. And so he basically was like, this is BS, and I stick up for H.A. Goodman. He likes H.A. Goodman. And he got a bullying strike. He got a bullying strike against the Young Turks, who have like, I think the last time I checked, I should pull it up. He has like, the hard bastard has like 5,000 or 10,000 subs. So the hard bastard is like, you know, down the line from H.A. Goodman. And he made a video in support of H.A. Goodman and bashing the Young Turds. And he got, I mean, if I say Young Turds, will I get a bullying strike for doing that on my little channel with 70 plus subscribers?
Well, I am the mad libertarian, and I say the Young Turks suck dick. There.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I said it. Yeah, come strike. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna get banned. You know what I mean? Just for talking about them. So, like, there is.
If you don't put them down in the description, we should be good.
Yeah. The Young Turks have like. It's just bullying. I mean, the First Amendment, the platform of YouTube is like one of the greatest, beautiful things, right? To be able to talk to your fellow man, to be able to get information out there, to be able to and talk to people in a way never thought of or even conceived before. It's a tool that is so strong. I mean, it's the strongest thing we have is the First Amendment. The thing that's always keeping us back from war is our ability to talk it out. And if they're going to strip that away from people, we cannot support it. I mean, that is just.
Well, yeah, and how can an adult really be bullied? I mean, really, Chink, you were bullied? Screw you, buddy.
Yes.
All right, isn't that his name, Chink or whatever? Like.
Yeah, Jank.
Yeah, maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah, but everybody does. It's not a big deal. But
and he denies the Armenian genocide, so I think he's a bully.
Yeah. So there is some. There's now like some conspiracy theory-esque talk being flown around that, wow, is YouTube really that tight with TYT? They're gonna start finding everybody that's even talking about it and banning them and knocking them off. You know, not knocking them off as like whacking them or whatever, but I'm talking just bullying, copyright strike. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And his video was critical, but it wasn't like he wasn't going nuts or anything. You know, I don't even think he said anything as quote bad as what you did a couple minutes ago or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that crazy. And so You know, it's just what's going to happen is they're coming for us right now. They're coming for us. And it's not
well,
Trump.
yeah, first they came for the Nazis.
Yeah.
Then they came for the fucking KKK. Then they came for the Libertarians because they're white.
Yeah.
And I hate the whole race thing. Like, how are we not supposed to be racist if we can't be colorblind? Because now BuzzFeed, is putting out these videos saying that if you're so-called don't care about race, then you're racist.
As far as I'm concerned, if one has a fundamental understanding of the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, and the Constitution as a whole, and you stand by that as the founding principles and the cultural tie-in in which everybody in this country should respect and live under. Fundamentally, in my opinion, racism shouldn't even exist because we're all equal and we all have the same protection under the same
natural law
playing field.
Not even the Constitution. It's like natural law.
Correct.
Either if you don't believe in God, then it comes from your humanity. If you believe in God, then it comes from your God.
Yeah, and I've said that in my videos. I've broken that down because I don't think people quite get that, you know. I'm trying to move. I got to stand up for a second. My back's really kind of hurting me from sitting down for a little while. But I'm going to try to back up.
Yeah, I don't know how long we've been going on. I'm still down to keep going. But whenever you want to go to bed.
Yeah, we'll go for a little bit more because it's too good to stop, really. But back to what were we just talking about? I had to stand up there.
But natural rights.
Yes, natural rights.
It's not necessarily from our Constitution. It's from us being human.
Yes.
When you're born, you have these rights.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're from Saudi Arabia.
I don't either.
I don't care where you're from. You have these rights.
The Constitution didn't give us those rights. It promised that government wouldn't interfere with the rights that God gave us or the rights that we just inherently as human beings have. We have the ability. Every human being on this planet should have the ability to speak their own mind and not be oppressed by the government. Now, they can be oppressed by YouTube, technically, because YouTube is a private company. That's a bad argument. I don't really stand by it when they act as a public commons, but that is a different argument, right? But when it's the government denying you your free speech, that should not be infringed. Everybody on this planet has a right to free speech, in my opinion. Everybody on this planet has a right to defend themselves against a would-be assailant.
But also, it's not my job to go to your country and defend your free speech.
Absolutely.
You need to step up and do it yourself.
Absolutely. It's a fight that everybody must understand and struggle for sure.
So that would lead into the police state and the United States just being the police officers of the world.
Strongly,
it's not okay.
Yeah.
We need to just keep to ourselves, not isolationists.
Correct. Yes.
But if somebody attacks us, let's not just bomb your country and then rebuild it. How about we take your shit? Fuck you. You attacked us.
Well, there's
after that, we should not attack anybody ourselves.
Right.
But if you come after us, then it should be take no prisoners, the black flag, sir.
Right, and it should be declare war by Congress because that's what the Constitution says. And so, you know, we haven't done that since World War II, and that's the last war we've technically won. So that should just be a red flag to every single American that it is unacceptable to do it again. And the president, so let me go back to the Syria thing because this is a good point, right? The Syria thing, the president should not have the authority to do what Trump did. But, okay, the president has had under Obama, under Bush, under Clinton. I mean, how far can you go back? They have bent the rules. They have broken the rules. They have changed the rules. They have undermined the Constitution in every conceivable way to give the executive power. Give the power to the executive. My theory is that they never intended for somebody like Trump to have that power. And so now that somebody like Trump has it, he could use that power for good, let's say. And it's still authoritarian and it might not be correct, okay? But take that power away from him then. Don't let him get away with it. It's not his fault that Congress won't do anything. You know what I mean? If they're going to give him that power and let him roll, well then, what is he supposed to not use it for good when he could? Well, that's kind of this slippery slope kind of area, right? You know.
Well, good is very
3D chess. Say it's good as if you believe in the 3D chess theory, and my 3D chess theory is that it was done to put Assad in check. It was done to well, hold on for a second. It was done to put Assad in check a little bit. It was done to put some pressure on him, which I'm thinking it did. It was done to get the media to stop saying Russia every effing day. Because doing that has to shut them up, even though it didn't, because they're so stupid. They don't even get that, like, you know, Russia's now, we're not friends with Russia.
Putin no, we're itching towards war.
Correct. So how can anybody go around and say that Trump is colluding with Russia now? So it should end that. When he goes into the Chinese president and he's hitting them and saying, look what I'm doing. I'll shut up about the currency manipulation that I know that you're taking part in. I'll kind of look the other way. You help us with North Korea. Then the naval ships come in. All the 150,000 troops come from the China right onto the border.
Yeah. I was talking to you about that earlier. The border. We have Russia right there. We have China and the United States right on the Korean border. Mm-hmm. So all these three, what I would call the three superpowers of the world. Sorry, but China and Russia are.
Absolutely.
They are on par with us. Get over it.
Yes, they are. Yes.
And we're all right there, about ready to hit the button.
Yep.
Is that a good thing? I say no.
Yeah. No, I say no too. It's a sticky situation, and I'm not advocating for invading North Korea. I think that would be.
Would it be invading at this point, though? Because the armistice, it'd just be a continuation of the conflict.
Well,
I mean, it wouldn't really be invading.
I do not want to see an invasion of North Korea in any way, shape, and form. Though they will kick our butts. I mean, we'll hit them back, but they will die and kill us in numbers that will be untold. They've been digging themselves in for 100 years. They've got tunnels everywhere.
More like 50, but yeah.
No, more like
they've hated us. The 1950s, MASH took place in the Korean War, right? So yeah. I think MASH took place in like the 60s or whatever.
Right. But what I'm saying is they've had this like burning hatred of us before that even. I learned some stuff just recently that like in the late 1800s there was some action. I don't know enough about it, but their hatred for us stems from that far back. They hate us for, and there's probably some pretty valid reasons why they hate us too, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not just because of the war, because we've done other, underhanded things. But where we're at right now, I don't want to see a war in North Korea. That is very disturbing to me. But hopefully we fix the problem somehow without war. And putting pressure on him is good. I think he has broken the non-aggression principle. He's going around saying he's going to nuke every Tom, Dick, and Harry around him, and he's nuts and out of control. So he needs to get dealt with, but I don't support attacking him. But look where we are. We're not doing that, right? A lot of people are saying, not yet.
We're positioning ourselves.
But it was, like a lot of people are saying, like you, I'm going to say that I might have watched your video a month ago. I can't remember, but I know that a lot of people were, trending the World War III.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I have a video up. That's actually my last video. Yeah,
you're right for having a major concern there. You're absolutely right for having a major concern there, but it didn't happen. So
Not yet.
World War II
took a little bit. So.
I have faith that the president that I have trust in knows more than I do. And I personally, because of the way I feel about him, am willing to bestow a little bit of benefit of doubt on him. And the fact that we aren't in World War III, and the fact that they didn't test their nuke, and the fact that we're not at war.
Wait.
Yeah.
Didn't they test it, but it got shot down?
That wasn't the nuke.
Like they're saying the U.S. shot it down, right?
Yeah, that was a missile. Yes, it wasn't a nuke. It was just a missile test. They reneged on their missile test. If that makes sense.
That's racist, sir. No, kidding. Sorry,
I'm from Michigan. I know. That's whatever. Okay, you can look at it. It's a real word. Renege.
Oh, I know. Okay. I'm just kidding, dude.
I know. It's a euchre term of when you say you're going to do something and you say you're going to follow the rules, but you don't. And just because I'm from Michigan, have you ever played euchre before? It's a card game. It's like spades. It's like a variation of spades, and I guess we're the only state that plays it, and we're nuts about it. I mean, there's euchre tournaments. We play euchre like crazy. So that's
you guys must be crazy. I've never even heard of it.
It's the best 4-player card game. You're sitting there drinking with your buddies. You can play it all night long.
5-card draw, man. Texas Hold'em.
I like that too. But there's something about euchre, and I'm a Michigan boy, so that's just how we roll. But
yeah, is that a Lions jersey you're wearing?
Yeah, that's my Barry Sanders.
Oh, old school, dude. Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. I'm a Niners fan myself. I hope
Niners. Cool. Yeah. Kaepernick's gone, right?
Fucking A. Thank God. He can go kneel somewhere else.
Yeah, he can go ride pine somewhere else, man.
Even as a libertarian, I was like, oh my God, dude, really? You're oppressed. You make millions, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, you talk about obtaining the ire of everybody. I mean, dude, just everybody was pissed off about that. And it didn't really bother me. I'm like, good, let him do it. Free market, right? Free market principles. What's going to happen? He got fired. He sucked. He rode pine. And he did that to himself. It's not like he was performing and they benched him because of that. It's because he just wasn't performing. And he's got his head up his butt about that instead of playing ball. So, I mean, he was a great quarterback at one time somebody just completely warped his head. You know, they say it's his old lady or whatever, but.
I would, but. No, I think it's also Jim Harbaugh left the Niners to switch the football for a second. When they fired Harbaugh, they fucked up.
Bad. And when Michigan hired Harbaugh, that was great for them.
Yeah, that's right. He went to fucking Michigan.
Yep. And just so you know, too, hang on real quick here. I'm going to literally play the switch hat games. Okay. Bam. So that is Michigan State. So in Michigan, we have 2 major universities. One is Michigan State. One is the University of Michigan. I'm the Michigan State Spartan fan for life. Go green, baby.
Go Ducks.
So
motherfucker.
Harbaugh is in U of M, and they're our rival, of course. But U of M.
Don't they kick your ass every year?
They mostly, but right now we're on I believe it's 7. We've won 7 out of 9 right now against them. Like, State's been really good. Yes, historically they kick our ass pretty thoroughly a lot. But lately we've been doing.
I really don't know. I was just fucking with you.
No, it's true.
This is our first real conversation, so I figured I'd fuck with you a little bit.
No, it's absolutely true, man. That the Spartans used to, back in the day, just get whipped. I don't know how many times we lost. It must have been like 6 times right in a row from like 2001, I think, until 2006.
Like the Oregon Ducks and the Oregon State Beavers, man. We kick their ass every fucking year, and they still won't shut up.
The Ducks kill them, man. The Ducks are crazy. Crazy good.
The Ducks are fucking good, yeah. Even our basketball team, man.
The Ducks. 2 years in a row, just a couple years ago, they wasted us with Marcus Mariota. Just kicked our butt.
But then we won. He was the shit.
But we won the next year, though, at home. We lost at your guys' place, and then they lost to us at home.
Well, you can't play in Autzen, man. It's just too loud. I've been there. Like, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get totally demolished. Like, we played a good game to the third quarter, but then they took us out. I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. But yeah, so Harbaugh, just speaking, talking football or whatever, Harbaugh's the coach at Michigan. But I actually I'm a fan of having Harbaugh in Michigan because the harder that Michigan is, the harder State's gonna get. So
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
no, and it'll make your team better if you have to play against his caliber,
Exactly.
of a coach.
Exactly. Mark D'Antonio is our coach, and he's been like a godsend coming to our school. He's basically turning into Izzo. He had a bad year last year, really, really, really bad year. Historically, in his case, a bad year for a team, but we'll be fine, man. We're Spartans. We'll pull through. We've been through some way worse dark times than we're at right now. So, and plus we always got basketball to fall back on. We're sweet at basketball too.
Well, yeah, the Ducks. I think we made it to the Elite Eight for sure. Yeah, the Elite Eight. I don't think we made it to the Final Four in basketball, but
yeah,
we kicked ass this year, dude.
Yeah. Yep. We did. We need to get better. But Bridges, our youngest player, not our youngest player, our best player is sticking around another year, so that's cool.
So you told me before, man, that you like baseball. So your team's the Tigers, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. I'm not, a huge hardcore follower all the time. Like I've been so into politics, yeah. I really haven't been paying much of attention lately. So I'm not a huge baseball fan. I guess I'm that'd be. Let's see. I'd say football's number one. Two.
Hockey. Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Is hockey really that big up in Michigan? I mean, is it like Canada that?
Oh, yeah. Red Wings, baby. Come on, man. Dude, the Red Wings are hardcore,
dude,
man.
You don't even know what Red Wings was when I was in high school, dude. Don't even want to go there. That's vulgar.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I've heard of those. I'm going to pass. But the hockey Red Wings are awesome, man. We're getting a new stadium next year, so that's cool. Joe Louis, I've been there two times, and amazing place. Getting shut down though, but yeah, the hockey. So yeah, I'd say football number one, hockey number two, football and baseball kind of tied there for the most part.
Yeah, on my list, I would say I'm a Dodger fan, number one. My nickname in high school was Dodger. Like,
I gotcha.
Just because I wore the Dodger hat. That's why I'm Mad Dodge Productions. I was
just gonna ask you, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't want to fuck with the copyright, so
yeah,
had to change it up.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man.
Football, the Niners, Oregon Ducks. And then hockey, I downloaded a video game on my PS4 for hockey. That was pretty cool.
Dude, I'm obsessed with that. I got a PS3. That's like the most advanced system I got. And I just bought like a month or two ago NHL like Legacy 16, I guess it is. And that game is just awesome, dude. I love playing that game because I used to love playing.
You should private message me your handle for the PlayStation. I'll hit you up on there.
You got a PS3?
Yeah, that's what I'm playing right now. I have my internet bill and shit. I had to pawn my PS4, so
okay.
I'll be getting that back soon, but
Yeah, I haven't made the jump to PS4. Like I said, PS3 is the highest. Like I'm kind of a retro gamer. I love playing like Zelda and Mario and old Nintendo stuff. I'm kind of a throwback, I guess you could say, to that. But I did get a PS3 few years ago, and I've just been building up my arsenal now that the prices are like $5 and $6 for games. I mean, that hockey game is like bar none the best hockey game I've ever played. It's insane. And it's
does it have online capability? I'll check it out and see if we can play each other on there.
Totally. It's got fighting. It's got just brutal hits. Like I have a video that I made on this. I have a channel called Review the Video Games. I don't have much on there. I have like 3 videos I put on there. So like that's my non-political video game channel or whatever that I don't really do a whole lot with. But I got this really funny video on there of my dude, Red Wings, just checking the holy, like 2 people at the same time just mashing each other, You ever play NHL 94 for like Sega Genesis way back in the day?
No, I played more of the old Madden games back then.
Did you ever see Swingers, that movie with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn from the 90s? Do you remember that one scene where they're like fighting over that because they're playing hockey and it gets so intense that they get in a scuffle at their apartment or whatever when they're waiting for food? But that's the game, and it's got a retro game built into it. So like, that's got like the full-on simulation mode. So if you want to get really serious and
the good
control,
graphics,
like Madden,
all that,
yeah, you want to do Madden style, you can, but then it also takes the same good graphics and makes like easy controls, so it's like just anybody can pick it up and just skate and check and stuff. And so it has like a retro easy mode that's a throwback to the NHL 94, but it looks exactly like updated graphics, and it's just, dude, it's like one of the best games ever, man. I love it.
So how do you feel about the Anaheim Ducks? That'd be my hockey team if I had to choose one.
Right. The Ducks kicked our butt in the playoffs some years ago.
Just a few days ago, right? Yeah, isn't the playoffs going on right now?
Yeah, but the Red Wings did not make it, unfortunately. And I don't really, like, as a whole, follow hockey. I'm kind of digging through something. I was going to try to find that game, but I don't have it sitting out here. I guess I thought it was closer. But I was just going to bring it up and show it. I think it's in my drawer over there, but... Yeah, the Red Wings, this is the first year they broke their streak. They've been to the playoffs for 24 straight years in a row.
Damn.
They didn't make it. Yeah, it's like the biggest streak ever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's been hard. And since the salary cap stuff came in like 2006 or 7, they've just not been able to fully get back to the old era. And then because
with that anyway, aren't they like pretty much below soccer? You know what I mean? Overall, shouldn't they just let their guys play and
salary cap is good for the sport as a whole. It's fair, I think. You know, it's what it is. But yeah, like basically, you know, when you're always top dog or you're getting to the playoffs that many years, and you're, you know, salary cap issues and things, you're not getting the highest picks per se. So after a while, it drains you. You know, imagine like the Patriots, right? You've got to have just an amazing organization to do what they've done, right? You know what I mean? They keep going to the Super Bowl, going to the playoffs.
What do you mean, like cheat and deflate the balls all the time?
Well, yeah, we can talk about that. But I'm saying, like, the whole thing that this forever, you know, since Tom Brady has been there, basically. They're constantly.
Oh, they're a good team. I'm not going to deny that.
Well, they're constantly in the playoffs. So when you get to the end of the year and they finish 5th or whatever every year, or 1st sometimes, you get the last draft pick. So, I mean, how many years can they continue not getting top talent and still making it? You know, it's pretty amazing to do that. But
there's something called free agency.
Yeah, exactly. There is, but with the free agency, it's all salary capped and stuff. Very hard. It's hard for a team to be that successful for that long, for sure, unless you're cheating.
Yeah. I would think a lower sports league though would not have so many caps on it. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to compete. Like, look at the MLB. Clayton Kershaw gets what, 25 million or some shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
crazy. Yeah, I mean,
they're not even the number one sport.
Yeah, Verlander is like killing us, dude. I haven't been following lately, so you know, I'm gonna look up the record right now. I listened to like pieces of games, but I've been so obsessed with politics, man. The one thing I won't ever miss is the Lions game, though. And I know we suck. We've sucked for a really long time. But
yeah, I'd like to watch you guys lose every Thanksgiving. That's pretty nice.
This is an idea I should have been doing for years. And I was like, this year I'm going to do it because I'm getting into the YouTube, right? Like, live stream me completely losing my mind, okay? Because when you're a Lions fan for this long, it is.
Is it kind of like a Cubs fan was for baseball?
I don't know.
Is that how you feel? I mean, the Niners have some Super Bowls, so.
Right, we have nothing.
Oh.
We've never even made it to a
Cubs
Super Bowl.
fan, right? I mean, you're feeling the curse.
I can only say it's got to be more heartbreaking because of the way we lose. That's what makes us hard to be a Lions fan, because of the way we lose. We have all this talent. piss it away. We're up 24 points at halftime, lose the damn game. I mean, it's not like we can get into a whole thing about that, but there's like,
oh yeah, I want to interrupt real quick. Like I said earlier, I'm a Duck fan, right? So Joey Harrington went to Detroit. And his first
you've spoken the name Joey Harrington in my house.
Dude,
never again.
Yeah. His first fucking game, man. It looked like he was gonna die. His eyes were just so wide, like, oh shit. What I get myself into. I should have signed with the Raiders.
3 years. Started every game.
He wasn't that bad, dude. He was good in Oregon.
No, I know. In Oregon, not in Detroit, though. Man, he was like, it was the worst. I mean, it was so horrible. It was so bad. He was so bad, man.
Oh, did you see the fear in his eyes? It was insane.
Always. He can't run. He would just like get to the sideline, 3 yards short of the first down, not even attempt. It looked like he's trying to. He was awful. Joey
yeah, sorry about that. My old lady was asking if I was live on YouTube. I had to answer her back.
That's fine. Tara said hi. So check this out. This is an example of a Lions fan, okay? So Joey Harrington, he stays 3 years with the
You're
Lions.
not crying in your beer.
Drinking, but I've cried in plenty of beer over this, all right? Joey Harrington with the Lions for about 3 years, and I think the 4th year he finally might have got benched. I can't remember if we sent him packing on the 4th year, right? But on the 4th or 5th year, he went to the Dolphins. He got another chance. He went to the Dolphins, and they came back on Thanksgiving, and he beat us. That's what being a Lions fan is about.
That's brilliant.
On Thanksgiving. By the person that sucked for 3 years and couldn't do jack squat, but they come back and beat your ass. That's what being a Lions fan feels like, man.
Well, I mean, kind of like the Niners, we traded away fucking what's his name? Oh, what the fuck was his name? Over to Kansas City, and now he's good.
Oh, Alex Smith.
Yeah, Alex Smith. Yeah.
I mean,
we traded him over, and now he's good. And fucking the new Niners coach is like, oh, maybe we should get him back. Like, no, I don't want to go back to 2004. I'm good.
Yeah, they might have done that, but he's not real good. He's good. He's been good, but he's not great. He's just a decent guy. But
he's a game manager. He can manage the game. He knows, mentally, he knows what's going on.
Well, brother, I think we should shut her down. Awesome talk, man. Awesome finally getting to chat with you. I got to use the bathroom. That's why I'm kind of dancing around here a little bit. I drank a bunch of water, so.
Well, just
for sure too. It's 1:30. It looks like. I can't even believe we went that long. But I guess that's the whole point, right? Is like if you have chemistry, or if you have the ability to bounce ideas off each other. Like I think this is extremely. Extremely good talk. What was the wrong word? Extremely
good conversation. I agree.
Yes. Yep. So
so maybe next time we'll go on my channel.
Absolutely.
I'd like to give a shout out, Mad Dodge Productions. Please like and subscribe.
Yep.
And have a good night, sir. Thank you very much.
Yep. Throw your Twitter handle out there or any other plugs you want to get to. I always find that. I mean, it'd probably be. I'm sure there's not a lot of people sticking with us, but I always try to do that plug thing at the end where. I am the Mad Libertarian 3 on Twitter, and I also have a Minds.com Mad Dodge Production. I have a Minds
Productions.
I got to redo my Minds. I have a Minds, but I'm gonna get out of there and kind of redo it. I got it under a different name, and I don't want to do that. Had it for a different kind of purpose at first, but
And I'm not really on Facebook anymore, but I do have a Facebook page, Mad Dodge Productions. Please go like it there. I'll try and get on there more. Get a hold of me privately, and let's set something up for my channel. Have a good night, sir.
Awesome, brother. So I'm Review the Earth. So reviewtheearth.com, @reviewtheearth on Twitter, @reviewtheearth on gab.ai. And that's pretty much where I'm hanging right now. So I'm kicked off of Facebook. I'm too deplorable for Facebook, baby. They don't want me there. So I've been banished. That's a whole other story for another day. We can talk about that sometime.
Yeah, I would like to talk about that. I didn't know you were kicked off of Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm leaving on my own cause.
Yeah, yeah. And I got a whole battle plan kind of formulating in my head about that. But all right, man. Well, yeah, we'll be in touch, and this was a great experience, and we're gonna keep doing it. So yeah, we'll flip flop, maybe go back and forth on each other's channels, and keep it real, man. All right, have a good night.
All right, you too, sir.
Peace,
Good
man.
night, Vietnam.
See ya.